Oh man. Hello, and welcome to the live stream. I've got a new camera, so I'm going to be testing that out today. Haven't quite decided on what I'm going to tie, but hopefully you'll be able to see that this is a much closer shot to the hook, and it's got a manual focus, so I should be able to bring the focus in on the hook itself instead of me. Hey, check that out. I don't want to bring it too much closer because there's not quite enough space here to work around the fly. And I do apologize if I hit the camera because obviously I'm not used to working around the fly. But we'll see how this works. I don't know if the lighting is the best. It's about as good as I can get without too much trouble, hopefully. First, so I do apologize for not streaming a whole lot lately. I think I might have mentioned this last time I was on, but I got a new job, and that new job has definitely changed my schedule very drastically. I am working on weekends now, so my normal weekend schedule, streaming schedule, doesn't quite work, and let's see. My normal streaming schedule doesn't work, and so yeah, I literally just got off work and was like, "Hey, I'm going to try the new camera out." So here we are. Let me pull up my list of flies and see what we want to tie today. We might just end up tying something we have already tied before. Frankly, that wouldn't be too horrible. Can't see because I got my microphone in the way. Lord. But actually, let me. Okay. I don't think this is 70 denier thread. But anyway, so my schedule, I don't know if I'm going to be consistently streaming Fridays, or maybe like Saturday afternoons. My weekends, technically, I'm taking my weekends on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So that's a little rough, you know, for like for you know, for people to watch the live streams middle of the week. So yeah, I'm not certain what the schedule is going to be, but I do want to get back into streaming on a more regular schedule. I don't know what brand thread this is. This might be one of those like off brands or like store brands. I don't know if I like it. I ran out of my usual 70 denier ultra thread, so I'm kind of winging it here. But anyway, what should I tie? I think I want to tie. There's a fly that I've been wanting to tie that I haven't. For not for any particular reason, just I haven't gotten around to it. Oh, okay. So I've been interested in tying the lion by Jay Wright for the River Tweed, as described in Hardy. Sorry, Kelson. But the challenge is that it requires, it's a little bit of an interesting underwing because it's got a tippet and a sword feather from a golden pheasant. And I haven't had great quality sword feathers. However, I just recycled a fly, as I do on occasion. Just recycled a fly, and I think that will. It had a. It had a sword feather. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to tie the whole fly today. I mean, I'm going to do this fly in 2 parts, I think. Just because it is a weekday night for me. But we'll do the body today as normal. We'll do the body today, and then do the rest of the fly next week. Right. So let me grab all the stuff needed here. Silver. It says silver tinsel, silver oval tinsel, and okay. Black Ostratrol, but all right, so we're going to tie the lion. I've never tied this one before, so we'll see how it goes. Although, if I'm honest, this is not my favorite hook for something so nice. So maybe I ought to tie something a little bit. Maybe I'll tie an Irish fly. That'll be. That'll be good. So I'm going to tie an Irish fly, and I think I'm going to tie the. Oh, did not have a plan. I was just going to try out the camera. All right, you know what? Let's just do the line because I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Although, man, I would love to tie the lion on a nicer hook, just because I think it might be one that I want to keep, maybe. Now we could always do. So, oh man, sorry guys. My only plan was to test the camera, and it seems to be working just fine. Oh, I know what I'll do. We'll do the cock robin. The cock robin is one of the patterns that I definitely recommend as a beginner pattern. It's a little bit of a step up from the thunder and lightning. But I think, yeah. That's dropping stuff. Oh, I don't know where my tape went. Need my tape. I can hear my computer dying. This might be a little bit much for it. With the new camera. But it's all right. All for science and the art. All right, so let's tie. Oh man, so that is really close. Making my fingers look big and fat. All right, so I'm just going to wind my thread down. I'm just winding tinsel. Now, if you need to, if you want like a good sharp edge, you just use like a fingernail there. The camera's a little bit in the way. Right where it is. Don't want to bump it. All right, so that's pretty good. I don't know. For those of you who get car sick, that might be a little bit too close, eh? All right, so this has a silk body with a ostrich roll butt, so I'm not too concerned about building up bulk right here at the tie-in point. But next, some silk for the tag, yellow silk. Wind my thread all the way. Silk down. Now, as you can see, I'm winding it nice and flat. All right. Just going to trim. Like I said, this has a Ostrich butt, so I'm not too terribly worried about bulk building up. Starting to get back into reworking some hooks. So here's some more hooks I'm working on. Still have to refine the points a little bit and then give them a nice taper. I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna finish them using, I don't know, maybe like a firearms gun blue. So, these hooks might be a little bit too. These hook points might be a little bit too curvy for my taste, but I'll keep refining them. All right, so tail. Let's see. Do I have any good tails in here? Thought I did. I just recycled a couple of flies. Should have had tails, but I came with. They would have had tails. One's a little high. Looking for something a little bit less curvy, I guess, or a little less long. I don't want the wing on this fly to sit too high. So the tail has a great deal to do with the proportions of the fly. I think one thing that probably from a design standpoint, a lot of people do, which I think is dropping things. Isn't necessarily incorrect per se, but it's something that I personally don't think is a very good aesthetic. Is they make their wings too high, and that largely has to do with how high their tail sets. So here, if I have like a tail that we're maybe an eighth of an inch taller, then the wing would have to sit an extra eighth of an inch taller to match the tail. But by having a lower tail here, the wing can sit fairly low, and I kind of like that slimmer profile that having a lower tail gives. Just trim up the fuzzies. Gonna wax my thread real quick. So the thread kind of looks like it's like 80 or 90 denier and not my normal 70. So may end up with just a little bit more bulk, particularly at the end stages of the fly than I would normally like. Okay. Now this has a tail veiling that's IBIS, and of course I'm going to use an IBIS substitute. My normal IBIS substitute is gray parrot. Which you can get from your local pet shop. Oh, come on. These slips are so small. All right. All right. Climbing down. It's going to be a little bit messy, but that's all right. Okay. Trim that. Okay. Next is the butt. So I don't know if if you can see this, but you might be able to see that the hurl has a very distinct T cross section. You can see the fibers on top, and then the stem is vertical here underneath. And I want to tie it so that the fibers are on top and the stem is down. I'm just going to tie it right alongside on my side, advance the thread, get it out of the way. And then, of course, using my favorite flexible hackle pliers, I am going to wrap my hurl. And doing that, just make sure that the stem folds the right direction. Okay, so it may not be able to have the webcam so close to my fly device, because I am hitting it on occasion, depending on the material I'm wrapping. Bummer, because I like having this like really close angle, but that may be too close. I'm just going to tie this off. A couple of quick turns. Trim it. Just going to slick it back. Okay, so this has a black floss body, silver rib. I think I'm going to use silver lace for the rib, in fact. Black and then black floss is Lagarten. I might have some. Nope, I don't. Okay. So lace first. This is some very nice vintage lace from Tinsel Trading Company. I just want to lay it. So I'm going to lay it underneath the hook. Excuse my big finger. So as you can see, I'm tying it. So on your side of on the camera side of the fly, which is actually the back side of the fly to me, I'm tying it approximately the 7:30 position on the hook. And then I'm just going to wrap forward. And as you can see, because this is a lace, it did become a little bit unraveled, but that's fine. That just helps flatten the body a little bit. I'm just going to wrap forward, making sure to keep the lace straight along the tie-in, so straight at 730. You know what? I am going to have to back. I'm going to have to back the camera away from the fly just a little bit, just because it is kind of in my way a little bit. Okay, raise it up. There we go. Adjust the focus if necessary. Okay. Hope you are all enjoying the new camera. Much appreciation to the people who purchased flies out of the Etsy shop. Purchasing anything, but the flies, especially out of the Etsy shop, really allows me to upgrade my technology, keep buying materials. Actually, I think the only things I have right now in the Etsy shop are flies. So, but yeah, if you want to purchase any of the flies you see me tie on the stream, or support the channel, please visit the Etsy shop. It's Studio1213 on Etsy. All the money goes towards purchasing technology, purchasing materials. Okay, I'm going to stop there because this fly has a primarily black silk body, but then it also has, I don't know, like 20% the front fifth, maybe like right there, of red or scarlet seal fur. I'm going to tie in this is a brand new spool of black silk. Let's see if I can get it started. Holy crap, what did I do? Is this right? Yeah. I'm trying to start from the wrong end. All right. So black silk, and as usual, Legarten silks are multi-strand, usually 3 or 4 strand. I believe this is 3 strand, and I need about this much. Man, struggling with the spools today. Holy cow. Yeah, good enough. All right, so this is 3 strand. All you have to do is untwist it. You can kind of see all the strands. I'm just going to use one. Again, bind it down, get my thread out of the way. Now, the other thing that I want to do now is prep my hackle, and that's because when I wrap my floss body down, I'm also going to use the floss to tie in the hackle. So I'm looking for a fairly well tapered hackle. So I'm going to use the black floss to tie in the hackle, and then when I wrap the hackle, it'll be fine. But by using the silk to tie in the hackle, I avoid having to wrap the silk actually around around a hackle that I've already tied in here. Show you what that looks like. And this is a technique that I think I've demonstrated before, but I don't do it very often because and I don't think I've done it very recently. So I'll do it again, or I'll show you again. I'm just going to wrap all the way down, and then on my way back, I'll tie in the hackle. And the key to a good smooth silk body is to remember to flatten the silk as you go. So I'm ensuring that the silk goes on flat instead of being, having a twist. Now sometimes, not with black silk particularly, but if I'm using like JEC silk, like the Japanese silks, I will introduce a twist on purpose. And that's just to give the silk a little bit of texture. I'm not such a big fan of like the glassy, smooth silk bodies. To me, those kinds of bodies are a little bit uninteresting. Just because one, a lot of people tie or want to tie glassy silk bodies, and the other reason is, it actually makes the fly look kind of flat. Because you aren't going to be able to polish silk to a high enough gloss that it's going to have a whole lot of depth, or at least it doesn't look like it to me. So when I do a silk body, a lot of the depth is, in my opinion, a lot of depth is achieved when your silk body actually has some texture, which is one reason why I like the French, like the Legarten silks, because they are a little bit more coarse. And so when you tie them or when you wind them, you can see the individual, I guess, silk fibers that make it up. So all I did there was I trapped the tip of the hackle under the silk as I was winding it. Got a little bit of dust on my silk here, so I might have to actually polish it anyway. But okay. Tie this off. Now there's a couple ways to interpret the instructions for the throat. You could wind your rib and your hackle now, Or you and then tie in the fur, the seal's fur, and the throat hackle. But I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm I'm going to dub the throat and then tie the hackle and the rib through it. So again, whenever I dub something, I lay down a base of wax thread. That just helps the fur adhere a little bit, or gives the fur something to adhere to. So that way I don't have to do like a dubbing loop situation or anything like that. And I'm going to dub the red. So like I mentioned at the beginning, like hawk robin is definitely a fly that I recommend for beginners, people who are looking to have a step up from like the thunder and lightning. The way I would rate it is, if you think of the thunder and lightning as like a 1, and like the Jock Scott as a 10, this is like a 2. This is a very simple fly, but it's a little bit more complex than a thunder and lightning. It has an underwing, and multiple body segments here with between the silk and the dubbed throat. It's got a tail veiling, so it's got a little bit of everything, a little bit of complexity, but it's still pretty simple, still pretty achievable. It's not overly complex. It's not, and it's also not going to break the bank. That's the other kind of key thing. You can tie this on a smaller hook, using less high quality materials. Like I said, there's a lot of kind of there's a kind of a dogma, or well, yeah, I guess it's a dogma within Atlantic salmon fly tying community that you have to use like the best or the most rare or authentic materials, and that's a what a crock. I've done a whole series on tying artistic salmon flies using basically found materials or materials that you've acquired from your local pet shop, for example. So here, just gonna wind my thread, tie off the hackle. Stop, sorry. Okay, wax my thread. So I need to bind down some fuzzies, some leftover dubbing, and the end of the tinsel and the hackle. Just want to do it so it doesn't go too much everywhere. And then the last thing the body needs is a red, or in this case, because I use scarlet dubbing, a scarlet throat. Let's see, what do I have? Maybe not. Didn't want to dig too far. Get back. Get back. Probably should move these into like envelopes or something, but the plastic bags are well labeled and perfectly serviceable right now. So but sometimes these strung hackles, they come unstrung, and they cause me to become unstrung. Let me tell you. Okay. There's a nice bright red hackle. And kind of like, I was saying about this being relatively inexpensive, this doesn't use like a guinea hackle. Finding, guinea hackles aren't expensive, but you can buy, or you can go through a lot of bags of guinea hackle to look for, the speckled guinea, the handful of speckled guinea feathers that might be in a bag. I think I saw somebody was selling just a bag of guinea hackle, or speckled guinea hackle rather, but I don't remember who, I don't remember where, but you can find just bags of speckled guinea, which would frankly be really useful for salmon fly tying, since so many, whenever it says, like a guinea hackle for a throat, usually they're talking about speckled guinea. I don't know like what the historical reason for specifying speckled guinea was. I highly suspect it was because the speckled guinea feathers tend to be these smaller feathers on a guinea fowl, and a lot of these flies were tied in relatively small sizes, and we're talking like down to like size 8 or even smaller, or like the modern, or the modern equivalent of size 8 or smaller. So it is possible that they specify speckled guinea just on the understanding that you're to use the smaller hackles off of a guinea fowl. All right, so that's the body. As usual, I'm going to whip finish the white thread. I'll switch to black, but we'll do that next week. Like I said, today's stream was mostly just to test the new camera. Let me know in the comments how you like the new camera, whether you like having it this close. Obviously, the background's a little bit busy and a little bit blurry with the kind of the near focus, but yeah, let me know. Let me know how you like it. Yeah, I'm happy to have this new camera. Again, thanks to all the people who purchased flies on the site and allowed me to, upgrade my technology yet again. Yeah, tune in, or I should say, stay tuned in for next week's stream. Again, I'm not quite sure what my final schedule is going to be, just because of my work schedule is so weird. But hopefully we can settle on something that works well. If you have a strong opinion on what day you want me to stream, put it in the comments. Like I said, my weekends are Wednesdays and Thursdays, so those would be the best days for me. But if you guys are willing to watch, after 5 o'clock on a weekend, let me know. So anyway, thanks for hanging out for this quick stream. And I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks. Bye.